in order to alleviate and redress unfairness that come from natural advantages and natural differences, it might be the case that we're having to divide people up by a conjunction of their height, their weight, and their aerobic capacity, and that seems like it's getting pretty complicated pretty quickly. And so, while sex might be an imperfect measure of how to divide people into different categories, it might be pretty useful in the sense that it correlates with lots of other properties that we would have to then measure independently um, if we wanted to set up categories that were maybe more empirically based. Another concern here is that um, when we're trying to solve current problems, we might create other problems. So, for example, if we said, instead of having sex categories in sports, we're going to have just weight categories because we've decided that weight is something that's more empirical and it's going to be something that's going to be enable our sports to be fairer and more empirically grounded by having that as the segregating factor rather than sex. So if we put a load of emphasis on weight categories, though, this could lead to other unforeseen problems. So, for example, if you wanted to get an advantage by getting into a different weight category, it could lead to things like excessive dieting, um, or people developing eating disorders, or taking more and more risks with their health in order to try and get advantage by being in different weight classes. So this is something that you already see when it comes to the habits that people have when trying to get into weight classes in boxing. So if this was something that becoming a common thing, then it would likely bring with it other disadvantages as well. So that's going to be it for this video. So in this video, we thought about the kind of the fair play argument, which is the most influential argument for sex segregated sporting competitions. So the idea that as a matter of fairness, as a matter of equality of opportunity, people should have a right to compete against others that are kind of within the same range of ability as them. And if you have a situation where people have massive natural disadvantages or massive natural advantages based on things that aren't related to skill, then it seems like it's only fair to the spirit of competition to try and take steps to mitigate those advantages. So when it comes to the most common option when it comes to doing this is to set up a different category. We saw that one of the big arguments against this is the idea that if we accept this principle that we should limit the impact of natural advantages, then this seems to lead to strange results when we apply it when we apply it fully and most consistently. So there's a question here about whether we want to accept this principle on the whole, or whether we can find a way of either accepting the results of applying it consistently, or suggesting that there is a place on the slippery slope where we can stop and say that we're justified in alleviating this much natural advantage, but not justified in alleviating this other natural advantage.